Hi guys, and welcome to part 3 of a video series I'm doing on renewable slash infinite power in Tekkit. It's kind of designed for people who are new to the game or maybe new to the mod pack. So the previous two videos were based around coal power and then sort of taking that whole concept to making it into biofuel. This video kind of notches it all up. This one's nuclear power. Now that might seem like a bit of a big step, but really everything else in that sort of thermal expansion, it's either using non-renewable sources of energy, which is like getting oil or lava and using them, or really just sort of variations on the themes that I put in there. Now there obviously are other power sources to use, but one that I really enjoy is this nuclear power. And something that when I found out, oh, you can make this renewable, very easily in a very small space, you can make a huge amount of energy. So what we have here is a nuclear reactor. This one produces about 6.8 thousand RF per tick. It's kind of crazy amounts of energy there. I will say the Minecrafters did an absolutely fantastic video on how to set up your nuclear reactors. And what this does is, let me turn it on. So as you can see, we've got 6,000 millibuckets, or 60,000 millibuckets, let's close that off, 60,000 millibuckets capacity of fuel. That is basically one ingot of yellorium is 1,000 millibuckets, or a bucket. If we just go in here and we'll bring up yellorium here. So it's a yellorium here, and if we look at how this can be made, we smelt this yellow dust or yellow cake dust, and you can do it from uranium or uranium ore. And if you just actually pulverize regular uranium or a yellorite ore, you end up with enough for 2 ingots. If you find nether uranium ore, you actually get 4 ingots. So what this is hooked up to here is, or will be in a moment, okay, is a laser drill. And the way a laser drill works is you have to have it facing down to bedrock, and you have these pre-charges in here. When you give them energy, they send work into the drill, and the drill just gets a random type of ore at the bottom. Now what you can also do is you can add in these laser focuses. So what I've added in 6 lime laser focuses here, and that will mean it will gear it towards the green sort of ores, and this means mostly things like emerald and uranium. So this will actually increase the chances of you getting the ores that you want rather than just having a random ore pop up. And it turns out that when you power it with a nuclear reactor, you get more than enough to power that reactor again and again, sort of thing. So we're just going to turn this on, show you how this works. So we'll turn this reactor on. This is your input and output port. So we put fuel in there and it'll be popped out of there. And if we are looking here, these are getting energy, and you're not seeing them put the work in because they're going straight into here. And this will start speeding up a little bit eventually once we get up to our full capacity here. There we go, 6.8. There you go. 6,800 RF per tick. And then once this gets up to a 300, there it is, it will just generate an ore randomly, and the chances for that ore will be sort of modified by these focuses that we get, or foci. So we should see one come up very shortly. There we go, and we've got another emerald ore. So as that's going, it will just keep generating ores. Now with those foci, you will actually end up with more than enough to produce power for your nuclear reactor, and you could also have enough to power another one, maybe another 2 nuclear reactors, without ever running out of fuel for this. So while this is going, I'm just going to show you over here what I've set up is basically a complete duplicate of what we've got over there, but I've set up a little system here so we can see exactly what's going on. Now you also get these computer ports that go on the side of the reactor, and this allows you to access it with one of these advanced computers from Computercraft. I've just done a little program, and it just says how many ingots are left, and that figures out how many we've used. So if I turn this on here, you'll see it starts producing some waste down the bottom there. Let's turn it off again. Oh, that was annoying. So it starts producing some waste, and all this program here does is it just calculates, it just takes away the waste from the maximum we got. We're not refreshing the fuel in here, and the waste is just automatically being injected to the output. And what we've also got here is a little ME system. We take any items out of here, so let's have a look. As you see, any of the ores we can use get pulled out of here, just get pulverized and put in a redstone furnace, pulled into the system, and it's just displayed on this screen here. So while I go and explain something else about nuclear reactors, we'll just leave this going, and hopefully when we come back we start seeing this process in action. Now you can do something to really increase the efficiency of your nuclear reactors. Let's see if we've got anything in here. No. Right. No, we may have run out of fuel on this one. Oh no, we haven't. But when you get rid of your waste from a nuclear reactor, you will end up with a product that you can then cook again in this cyanide reprocessor. So if we go into here and you'll get this cyanide ingot out of there, and if we look at what that can be used for, oops, here we go. Okay, it's not coming up in there. Okay, well, 2 of those cyanide ingots can then be turned into fuel, which we can pump back into the nuclear reactor. Now, this is the smallest sort of nuclear reactor you can make, but it makes very, very small amounts of energy. And as you can see, the whole time I was setting up everything over here, and I even left it for a little while, we only got 3 ores out, and it's going very, very slowly. And the other aspect is, if we have a look in here, you'll see that we've got this fuel reactivity. This is how heavily irradiated the core is, and also the efficiency goes down. You'll notice that both of my reactors over here, they've got redstone flux in there. That just makes it more efficient and means that you get a much better efficiency for every ingot that you use. So if we have a look in here, let's slowly get to the point we're going to use that one. So there is a point at which you need to have your reactor a certain size to be able to make this sort of method viable, but it's not really a huge difference in size, as you'll notice there. That's the smallest possible one you can make, which is 3 by 3. And we look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a 7 by 7 reactor. Take quite a lot of resources to get this going. It would be in a situation where you've actually created the other sort of methods of fuel or other ways of creating energy. But once you have done that, maybe you've run a quarry a few times and you've got enough to create all this, you would be able to set this up and you would be able to run this system. There is one thing that these pre-chargers do use, which is they use pink slime balls, but you can get these from a slaughterhouse. You make pink slime, you kill it, you get pink slime balls. So in the time this video has been going, as you can see, we've already got 1 uranium and 1 nether uranium. So this would be equal to, if we pulverized it, that'd be 2 ingots of yellorium or yellorite, and this would be equal to 4. So we would have got 6 ingots. Maybe we can have a look here. We have not even finished off 1 ingot's worth of fuel. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly leave this to go over here while I just show you how to build one of these reactors. So most of the stuff you can find, so if we type in big, just get our big reactors in here. Let's click on there. If you were to press sort of R on here, you'd be able to see how to make this. So you make it by making a graphite bar, which is cooking charcoal in a furnace, and you would need iron ingots and yellorium. So you would need quite a lot of this to start off with. So we're going to get rid of this here and this here. We'll take a yellorium fuel rod, reactor casing. reactor controller, and these are also made with these casings that you make. As you see, you need diamond, redstone, uranium or yellorium. So we need reactor casing, reactor controller, we need a power tap minimum. I don't need to do that. I'll just get rid of one of them. We need this access port, which as you can see how this is made. And if we wanted our computer port, we would need that. And the final thing, we need these reactor control rods. And then whatever we were going to cool down the reactor with. You don't need to cool down the reactor, they're not going to blow up, but you know, it is useful to cool them with something. It increases the efficiency. But I'm going to build this without any sort of coolant on there so you can see the differences that we create. So first thing you need to do is build your base here. So we're going to have our 5 fuel rods in the middle here, so put those on, and then we want the gap round, and then we want that'll be the final corner there. So we'll just build this round here. Oh, that was smooth. Right, do this, do this. Now you can use that reactor glass that I used over there, or you can use these reactor casings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one side with the glass and one side with the casings, but the frame of your reactor has got to be made out of these reactor casings here. So we'll just do this. And by frame, I not only mean the sides and the edges, I also mean the top and the bottom. You can't have reactor casing on the top, I don't believe, either. So we'll bring this up here. And we will also build one of those on top of each of those. Oops, there we go. And we'll just fill that in at the top here. Now you'll notice that this actually looks different to reactors over there. This is one of those sort of big builds where it all changes shape and textures once you've actually built a functioning structure. So what we need to do is put the sides on this. And I'm going to get some of that reactor glass. And we'll make our front here with all the stuff. So we'll put here power tap, have 2 of those for an input, set that to an output mode, and we'll put the rest of this as glass. And there we go. And then this side here we will do with reactor casing, just to show you that they are interchangeable. Okay, and the final side. Actually, we'll leave that one so it's easier. Put it down. And there we go. As you see, all the textures changed. This is now a functioning reactor. We'll put in our 60 in there, and as you can see, these fill up. As you get less and less fuel in there, if you're not refueling them, not using a cyanide reprocessor, etc., etc., the amount that these are filled goes down. And at this point here, we can just activate this reactor. We can have auto eject waste. As you can see now, as you can see here, the core heat goes up a lot higher, and our energy output is going to be a lot lower. We had 6.8 or 6,800 in those reactors that were filled with the coolant, and as you can see here, we are not even getting 2.8. So there is a big difference with the coolant there, and that is how you make multi-reactors. So what we're going to do is quickly go and have a look over here. Let's see what have we got. We haven't got anything. Slightly annoying. Will take a while. We've used 1.79 ingots, but this is actually a random process. It does take a while for you to get what you want to get, but because of how efficient something like this is, you're pretty much guaranteed, well, you are guaranteed to eventually get more ingots than you're going to use for the fuel. As you see, though, you also generate other types of ore, which is a really nice byproduct of this. Is once you've created this, you're basically going to have infinite amounts of ores that you want. Well, I say infinite. You're going to have a constant supply of ores eventually, and you could potentially use this to supply all the energy you need for several reactors to run several of these. If you have a look at this one over here, we have already got, well, that's the equivalent of 8 yellorium ingots there. And if we have a look at how much we've used, we have used under 2 ingots, and this is the cyanide we get there. So I'm going to leave this video just going for a little while, and I'll sort of do a time lapse over the top so you can see how quickly things go. I've also realized why we are not getting the same thing that we're getting over there is I have got no foci in here. So let's get our 6 of these. Right. There we go. Now we should be getting the processes we want. Okay guys, so as you can see here, I've left this on for a little while, and we have used not even 4 ingots worth of fuel. Our actual efficiency will be going down a little bit because we're not restocking this fuel in here, but we have used, like I said, less than 4 ingots, and we have got more than 16 out of here. And if we go and have a look over here, we have also got a buttload of other stuff here. Let's see what we've got. Coal, redstone, lapis, diamond, emerald, glowstone, nether, gold, silver, iron, copper, tin, a load of nether coal, nether gold, nether lapis, nether tin, emerald, sapphire, copper, ferrous. We've even got ruby ore. So this is a very efficient way for you to get energy. If you think about this, if we're getting more than 4 times the amount that we put out, or the amount that we use there for energy, we could run 4 other reactors off this. And this really doesn't take up a lot of space. You don't need this whole system here. You could literally just have everything ported out and just maybe pull any ingots you can into these imports. You could have a cyanide reprocessor in there as well. So compared to the size of the other places, the other methods that I put out, this is much smaller, much more energy efficient. You get so much more energy out of it. Potentially with this, you could easily run, say, a force field system with interdiction matrix that stops anyone coming in and messing with your stuff. As if you want maybe a server that allowed PvP or messing with people's items. So anyway, I hope this has given you a little bit of an insight on what you can do, and when you want to get to the really big power that you want to use items for, this is it. And the other thing that I wanted to do before the end of this, I wanted to tell you that if you get this, where is it? Did we get any nether redstone ore? No. If you use a nether redstone ore in a smelter, it would actually give you some items that you need to produce shiny ingots. And you can also produce them from platinum if you can set up another laser drill to specifically be better at getting platinum. And this is really important if you want to make your modular power suits, or Teslas, which are, sorry, Tesla reactors, which are absolutely fantastic at transferring energy, transferring items around, allows you to have your bases very, very far away, or access things from very, very far away. Anyway, I hope that's been useful. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have fun.